Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something we've all probably daydreamed about, what you should actually do if you suddenly get rich. We're going to break down the critical steps to protect yourself, your money, and, well, your sanity. Okay, so just imagine it for a second. An investment you made takes off. That side hustle you started suddenly explodes. Or, hey, maybe you actually win the lottery. It feels like a total fantasy, right? But for some people, it becomes very, very real. But here's the thing, that dream can turn into an absolute nightmare if you're not prepared. Just look at the story of Jack Whitaker. He won a massive Powerball jackpot and basically did everything wrong. He told everybody he was famous for just handing out cash, and as you can see from this quote, his generosity ended up costing him literally everything. So you see, sudden wealth is this crazy paradox. It gives you all the freedom in the world, but it also brings all this danger. So let's get right into the first absolutely critical moves you have to make to handle it the right way. Your number one job before anything else is privacy. You need to become what's known as stealth rich. And look, this isn't about being greedy or secretive for no reason. It's about being smart. It's about building a shield around yourself before the entire world finds out and comes knocking. So how do you actually become stealth rich? Well, it boils down to these three things you do immediately. First, and this is the hardest one, tell no one. Not your cousin, not your best friend, no one. Second, your very first phone call should be to a specialized trust and estate attorney. This person is going to be your new best friend. They'll help you stay anonymous and save you millions in taxes. And third, for at least 6 months, do nothing. Keep your life exactly the same. Go to work, stick to your routine. Just breathe and let the new reality sink in. And this is exactly why you need that shield. Because the second people know you have money, you immediately become a giant target. For robbery, for ridiculous lawsuits, for blackmail, for every scam you can imagine. Money doesn't really change people. It just shows you who they really were all along. And you'll be stunned at how fast the vultures start circling. Okay, now let's talk about your job. The advice here is a little surprising. You shouldn't just quit working altogether. Why? Because being rich and bored is a seriously dangerous cocktail that leads to some really bad decisions. But you should absolutely, 100% quit a job that makes you miserable. Use this as a chance to find work that you actually love to do. All right, let's move on to the next piece of this puzzle, because getting a ton of money isn't just a financial thing. It's a social thing. It is going to change your relationships with everyone you know, and you need a game plan for that too. It's gonna happen sooner or later. Friends and family will start asking for money. And right here, you've got a huge choice to make. Lending them money, that's a trap. It almost never gets paid back, it creates this weird resentment, and it just ruins friendships. The much better way to go is gifting. And here's the rule that makes that gift work. If you really want to help somebody, give them the money. No strings attached, no expectation they'll pay you back. But, and this is the crucial part, you have to make it crystal clear this is a one-time thing. You are not their personal ATM. This might feel a little harsh, but trust me, it's the only way to actually save the relationship. Okay, next up, you get to hit a giant reset button on your own finances. And the strategy is super simple. You attack the debt with the highest interest rate first. That means credit card debt is enemy number one. Think about it. Paying off a credit card that charges you 25% interest is the same as making a 25% risk-free return on your money. It's a guaranteed win you can't get anywhere else. After that, you can knock out car loans, but you might want to think twice before paying off a super cheap mortgage. You can probably earn more by investing that money instead. All right, now we're getting to the most important part of all of this. This is the one thing that separates people who stay rich from the ones who are broke again in 5 years. It's all about building a machine that makes money for you. The whole strategy really boils down to this one golden rule. You have to stop thinking like someone who spends money and start thinking like someone who invests it. That big pile of cash you have, that's not for spending. That's the principle. That's the seed fear money tree. You live off the fruit, the interest, the returns, not by chopping down the whole tree. So, to make this golden rule a reality, you need a target. And that target is called your freedom figure. This is the exact number that tells you how big your money tree needs to be to pay for your ideal life forever. And the formula to figure it out? It's actually incredibly simple. You just figure out the annual income you want to have, and you multiply it by 25. That's it. This is based on something called the 4% safe withdrawal rate, which is a tried and true rule in the financial world. So let's run a quick example. Let's say you decide that $200,000 a year is your magic number to live the perfect life. Well, you take that 200K, multiply it by 25, and your freedom figure, the amount you need invested and working for you, is $5 million. The goal is to live off the income from that $5 million without ever having to touch the original amount. So, what does a $5 million money machine even look like? I mean, how would you actually invest that kind of money to create a steady income while also protecting the principal? Let's break down a sample portfolio. Here's one possible way to slice it up. Now, at this point, the name of the game is more about protecting your wealth than it is about aggressive, risky growth. So you can see it spread out across a bunch of different things: stocks for growth, bonds for stability, real estate for cash flow, even a small speculative piece for crypto. Now let's see how that portfolio actually translates into cash you can spend. Each one of these slices is designed to kick off its own stream of income. And based on historical averages, you can see how each piece of the pie contributes to your total yearly earnings. And here's the result. This is the power of building that machine. When you add it all up, this portfolio could spin off over $300,000 a year in passive income. Now that's way more than our 200K goal, which is great. It gives you a nice cushion and lets the original investment keep growing on its own. Now, if you were paying close attention, you might have noticed the investments only add up to $4.5 million. So what about that other $500,000? Well, that's for you. Right now, that's your fun money. Go buy the car, take the dream vacation, do whatever you want with it, totally guilt-free, because you know your entire financial future is already locked in. And that brings us to the very last point. And honestly, I think it's the most important one. After all the spreadsheets and all the strategy, what is this actually for? What's the real prize you've won? Because when it comes down to it, money is just a tool. The real goal isn't the flashy car or the giant house. The true prize is freedom. Real wealth is being able to wake up every single morning and have total control over your day. It's about buying back your time. And that's the only thing you can never, ever make more of. So we'll just leave you with this to think about. If you follow this plan, if you build your freedom machine the right way, you're not just buying things. You're buying back days and weeks and years of your one life. What will you do with them?